Myth number 1. You can be killed by the nuclear explosions that occur after the Lonesome Road DLC. After dealing with Ulysses and choosing to redirect the missiles to target the NCR, Legion, or both, nuclear explosions can be seen in the distance near the targeted territories once you return to the Mojave. These explosions, while visible, don't seem to affect you from where you are near the wreckage. But there's a belief out there in the Fallout community that if you somehow manage to get closer to the blast, it would kill you. After searching through the GEC, I found the console commands to trigger the explosions from anywhere in the Mojave. So first I'll test the nuke that lands at Long 15. When I enable the explosion, it detonates right next to the Mojave outpost. I'll stand as close as possible to the epicenter and see if it kills me. Nope, it doesn't affect me at all, and the terrain remains unchanged. It looks like it's just a visual effect. I also tried standing near the nuke that lands at Dry Wells, but I couldn't get too close because the explosion disappears. So I stood near the Searchlight Airport, where the blast happens just outside of it, and once again, no effect on my character. So in conclusion, there's no way you can be killed by the nuclear explosions that occur after the Lonesome Road DLC. Myth busted. Myth number 2. You can save the Happy Trails Caravan Company crew in the Honest Hearts DLC. When you arrive in Zion with the Happy Trails Caravan Company during the Honest Hearts DLC, you're immediately ambushed by the Whitelegs, resulting in the deaths of all the caravan members. But is it possible to save them by killing the Whitelegs before they wipe out the crew? I attempted this multiple times but couldn't even save a single member. After closer inspection, I discovered that the Whitelegs are actually immune to damage until they've killed their designated targets. For example, this Whiteleg is targeting Stella, and despite slowing down the in-game time and attacking with maxed out melee stats, I couldn't harm him until he killed her. So unless you use console commands to kill the Whitelegs early, it's impossible to save the Happy Trails Caravan Company crew. The Helios 1 orbital laser will kill you if you stand underneath it. After activating Archimedes 2 at Helios 1 and acquiring Euclid's Seafinder, you can summon a laser to eliminate your enemies. If you fire the Seafinder and stand under the beam, it will damage you. But what about the massive laser that kills all the NCR troopers at Helios 1? Will it completely vaporize me if I stand directly under it? To test this, I disguised myself as an NCR soldier, activated the test fire, and moved down from the observation deck. I positioned my character exactly where the big laser would hit to see what would happen.
2, 1.
Ouch! The troopers died, but I survived without taking any damage, so it looks like this one's busted. You can survive the bombs dropped by the boomers on Hoover Dam. During the second battle of Hoover Dam, if you enlisted the boomers and helped them recover the B-29 Superfortress, they'll show up during the battle and bomb the opposite side of the dam, depending on who you sided with. But what if you're on the side they're bombing? Can you survive it? Let's see. Whoa, nice explosions, but they don't do any damage to your character. So yes, you can definitely survive. You can survive jumping into the courtyard pool from the Topps casino building. To investigate this myth, I moved the pool's springboard to the top of the casino building. Alright, let's do this.
This is hopeless!
Ugh, I died. Next, I'll try using Turbo to slow down time and equip some power armor for extra protection. Maybe I'll survive now. Nope. I even tried the VATS method, where as you fall, you quickly hit the VATS key and try to teleport to the nearest NPC in order to avoid fall damage. But it still didn't work. It looks like the pool is just too shallow. Can't survive the jump. The Legion's fort isn't actually burning during the second battle of Hoover Dam. If you chose to side with Mr. House or do the independent New Vegas ending and activated the Securitron army beneath the fort, the Securitrons will storm out of their vault during the Battle of Hoover Dam and attack the Legion's fort, seemingly setting it on fire. You can observe the flames from a distance on the dam. However, some players claim that the fort isn't actually burning. To investigate, I used the TCL console command to fly over and inspect it up close. And sure enough, once I got there, the fire disappeared and the legionaries were still alive. I didn't see any Securitrons either. I even went through the main gate of the fort to double check, and it looked exactly the same as it did before the battle, with no signs of the fire or destruction. So sadly, this myth is confirmed. You can sprint in Fallout New Vegas. One of the features missing in Fallout New Vegas is the ability to sprint. But what if I told you there's actually a way to do it? Kind of. While using melee weapons, holding down the attack button while moving forward triggers a power attack that causes your character to sprint forward. You can perform this attack continuously without using any action points. Although it looks a bit ridiculous, you are technically sprinting. In fact, if you have the War Club melee weapon from the Honest Hearts DLC and equip it with the War Club Honors mod, you can sprint your way through the Boomer artillery range using the power attack. The X-7A field artillery in the Old World Blues DLC will kill you if you stand in the X-7B Boomtown target zone as it fires. For those who don't know, there's a functioning artillery gun at the X-7A left field artillery launch location, which you can fire from the nearby console. When fired, a shell lands in the X-7B Boomtown target zone, leaving a crater. What I'm going to test is whether it's possible to get hit by the shell and die. Since the shell lands far across the map, I'm going to move the console to the target zone and position myself inside the destroyed house, where the shell is supposed to hit. Now let's initiate the test fire. And the house just morphs into a crater without any explosion at all. Clearly, this was meant to be seen by the player. So no, you can't be killed by the X-7A artillery if you stand there. You can one-shot Deathclaws using boxing tape. To do this, I will need to obtain boxing tape, Esther, a unique weapon from the Gunrunner's Arsenal DLC sold by Vendatron, and at least one Big Kid mini-nuke. Now, as some of you may have guessed, this is an exploit, and if you're playing on PC, you'll need a controller to make it work. Here's how it's done. First, I'll switch to my controller and equip Esther. Then I'll open my hotkey item menu and navigate to the ammo section of the Pit-Boy, while keeping the hotkey menu open. Next, I'll select the Big Kid mini-nukes and hotkey them to number 5. With that done, I'll switch back to my keyboard and mouse and select the boxing tape. Now, when I press 5, I'll be selecting the mini-nukes in the background. Alright, with everything set up, let's go and try to one-shot a Deathclaw. And there we go, I'm one-shotting them with the boxing tape. Myth confirmed. You can devour Veracruz's remains in the Dead Money's DLC. Apparently, if you have the Cannibal perk, you can consume Veracruz's skeleton, something you usually can't do with other skeletons in the game, for obvious reasons. Let's see if hers is any different. Well, I guess you can. So if you need a quick HP boost before facing Elijah, now you know. Fisto can give you unlimited amount of caps. After completing the Wang Dang Atomic Tango side quest for James Garrett and recruiting Fisto from Cerulean Robotics to work at the Atomic Wrangler, you can hire and enjoy Fisto's services for 10 caps.
Please assume the position.
However, if you initiate dialogue with Fisto and refuse his services, for whatever reason, he will give you 10 caps every time you select that particular dialogue option. This can be repeated endlessly, allowing you to collect as many caps as you want. Thanks, Fisto.
Fisto is programmed to please.
The radioactive barrels at Cottonwood Overlook can kill you if you stand in their path as they roll down from the truck. At Cottonwood Overlook, there's a radioactive waste truck filled with barrels that you can release to destroy the Legion-controlled Cottonwood Cove. But what if you stand in their path as they roll down to the cove? Will the barrels kill you? Let's find out. Okay, one more remaining. Wow, I guess the barrels are heavy enough to kill you. That's surprising. You can free the Powder Ganger captives from the crosses and nip them without killing them. You can supposedly do this by obtaining the Ranger Takedown perk from Ranger Andy and Novak. This attack method knocks enemies down when you execute a power attack while moving backwards. I'll try and see if I can free them from the crosses. Ha! Hey, it worked! They don't do much afterwards, but you can indeed free them. You can survive the falling rocks at 3 Marys in the Honest Hearts DLC. During the Crush the Whitelegs quest, when you reach 3 Marys, the Whitelegs detonate mines that cause giant rocks to fall and block the direct path to their camp. But what happens if you're standing right where the rocks land? Will they kill you and cause the quest to fail, or will nothing happen? To test this, I increased my character's speed using console commands and slowed down the in-game time. Let's see what happens. Yup, I survived. The rocks just kinda push you aside a little, that's about it. Lake lurks can't attack you in water. Supposedly, if a lake lurk follows you into water where it has to swim, it won't be able to attack you. I'm at the Blue Paradise Vacation Rentals, and I'm going to run straight into the Colorado River with the lake lurks chasing me to see if it's true. And yup, they stopped attacking. Now we're just swimming around staring at each other. You can destroy the alien ship that appears if you have the Wild Wasteland trait. If you have the Wild Wasteland trait, you'll come across 3 aliens and a hovering alien ship just north of the Horowitz farmstead. While it's clear you can kill the aliens, can you destroy the ship as well? First, I tried using the Fat Man. Then the Euclid Sea Finder, which did set the ship on fire a bit, but didn't destroy it. Next, I tried the Blade of the East. And finally, I went with the anti-material rifle loaded with explosive rounds. And yeah, no, you can't destroy the ship. The burned bodies in the tribal village will come alive and attack you. This myth has been floating around the Fallout community for a while, so I thought I'd include it in this video. In the tribal village just north of Goodsprings, you'll find a group of dead NPCs scattered around as Cazadors feast on them. Some of these NPCs are labeled burned bodies, lying around the destroyed village. The myth claims that sometimes these bodies will come back to life and attack you. To test this, I first cleared out all the Cazadors in the area. Then I fast traveled to the Mojave Outpost, waited 3 in-game days, returned to Goodsprings, and made my way back to the village. And sure enough, as soon as I arrived, the burned bodies had come to life and immediately started attacking me.
You like the sight of your own blood?
Perhaps these bodies are under the influence of some vengeful spirit, or maybe it's just a very strange bug. You can shoot dynamite and kill NPCs without consequences. Apparently, if you drop dynamite on the ground and shoot it, it will explode and kill nearby NPCs without any reputation drop or consequences. To test this, I dropped some dynamite near a group of powder gangers. Let's see if it works. Nope, no reaction from the powder gangers, and my reputation remained unaffected. Looks like it's true. You can enter the NCR Correctional Facility by sitting in an outhouse. Normally, to enter the NCR Correctional Facility, you have to pay 100 caps to Dawes, the powder ganger guarding the entrance. However, if you go to the row of outhouses near the fence, you can sit in one of them, which will glitch you inside the facility. No caps needed. You can bring your base game companions into the Dead Monies DLC. To supposedly achieve this, I will need to use a glitch that allows me to have multiple companions at the same time. First, I'll recruit Veronica and help her visit locations around the Mojave until she starts questioning the Brotherhood's approach to things. When she initiates dialogue asking me to return to Hidden Valley with her, I'll say not now and head back to the Lucky 38, where my other companions are hanging out. Now, I need to dismiss Veronica, recruit another companion, and go back to Veronica to discuss what she wanted to talk about earlier. Instead of agreeing to go with her to the bunker, I'll tell her to go alone, which tricks the game into thinking I have no companions. Now I can quickly recruit another companion, run back to Veronica, and repeat the dialogue loop to recruit all my companions. Now, apparently if I take all of my companions with me to the abandoned Brotherhood bunker and start the Dead Monies DLC, some of them will actually be able to follow me into the DLC. Let's see if that's true. I'll speed through the intro, get past the dialogue with Elijah, and yes! 3 of my companions made it through. If you hate doing this DLC solo, this trick will definitely make it easier.